Alright y'all, so Goku Black is officially in game, and today we're going to be talking about the best ways to play him, best of mind combo cards, and just everything related to Goku Black. Now this guy is really broken, but there are certain ways that you do want to handle him depending on if you're solo queue or in a stack. So I will be addressing all these things because I think you play him a bit differently depending on what you're doing. I would also say Goku Black is a character that I feel like is comfortably better in a stack, but he is still quite usable in solo queue. It's just, you know, if you play solo queue, I understand sometimes you get people who either don't really cooperate or know the proper things to do during the game. Either way, we're going to go ahead and break down his kit first and foremost. Then we'll hop into training mode, talk about how his kit works together. Then at the end, I'll have an example match where we'll basically just show you, hey, this is what I'm talking about in the previous section of the video. This is where he could look good. This is where he could look bad. So we just want to show all aspects of Goku Black because he is an interesting character. But I appreciate y'all, and let's hop right in. Alright, starting things off, we want to show off Goku Black's passive skill, which is Path to the Divine. He gains increased strength within a certain area, shortens skill cooldowns, excluding super attacks, at set intervals when he's inside an area, which is basically a zone, created by his or an allied hero skill. That could apply healing or status effects. So again, let's say for example, skill 2, right? Skill 2 just is a dash that creates a zone here. If we go ahead and dash forward, we make the zone and we see at set intervals, his skill cooldowns do decrease. It's pretty decent, honestly. It seems like what is the exact second count here? I feel like it's about like 0.3, 0.2 seconds, which over time it will add up, especially with his skill 2 and his skill 1. I think it is a very nice, and it gets to the point where you could even chain some of these zones back to back and do some really nasty things. So again, this guy not only gets increased damage in the zone, but he will also be able to just have the skill cooldown reduction. Now we see here his rush attacks are just a normal ki blast. When you're within the zone, it gets fast. That's pretty much it. Just very straightforward, very simple. And again, zones that are created by ally characters can actually also activate this guy's passive skill. Right now, the only real ally that works with is Zamasu. Zamasu and his ultimate does create a zone where he applies a debuff to enemies. Outside of that, there's not really a character that does this. So maybe we'll see some extra characters in the future. Maybe the third character of the season will have a zone as well. I think that's very possible, but that's all speculation. And again, that's just the two basic things for his kit. Alright, so next we have his skill 1, which is what we're going to be taking a look at. That is the Black Kamehameha. So we see here the Black Kamehameha allows you to unleash an energy wave in a set direction. You will apply movement speed down to allied heroes hits, or movement speed up to allies hero to hit, my bad. Then a movement speed down and high pressure to enemies. So again, we can go ahead and see the Kamehameha level 1, it's just whatever. But by allies hit by this Kamehameha, you see that there is a movement speed up ability. Along with that, it does create a zone. Now, when you're within the zone, as you see, Super Saiyan Goku does actually have a movement speed up still. So as long as he's within that zone, he will keep it for a period of time, which is pretty nice, honestly. Like, it'll definitely give you a nice little boost there. And again, just turning on shortened skill cooldowns here, we can see with Super Saiyan Vegeta, it applies high pressure and movement speed down. Now, if you don't know what high pressure is an ability that will stop dash moves. So let's think of a skill like Oob using his skill 3 where he dashes forward, Super Vegeta where he has a move where he dashes, but it also prevents you from being able to vanish within the zone as well. So again, we can see the zone lasts a pretty decent amount of time, like without Goku Black taking any damage. So I mean, hey, you know, it is pretty nice. It is about a 12-second cooldown though, so you could see it does take you some time to go ahead and recover back this skill 1 in comparison to maybe his skill 2, which we'll talk about in a bit. Now, that's pretty much it. Again, the less damage he takes, the shorter the zone's duration, and the zone will apply the same effect as the Kamehameha itself. Does decent damage, nothing really too crazy. Again, Goku Black's not a damage-based character, so he's not really doing that much damage outside of when he stacks his zones together and they explodes them, but again, we'll talk about that in a bit. Now, of course, I do also want to show the difference between his skill levels at level 1, 2, and 3 here. So once it's maxed out, it has a really wide range, and again, a lot of enemies could fit within this little zone right here, which not only gives the movement speed up, but debuffs the enemies in a pretty nasty way. So next we have Goku Black skill 2, which is the Black Break. This is a dash in a set direction move, and then you'll unleash a surrounding energy barrier. So, or see a barrier but zone. So you see, okay, let's go ahead and dash forward to this Goku Black. It does a little bit of damage and creates a little zone here. Now, this zone, when created, will apply all defense up to self and allied heroes, whilst also applying all defense down to enemies within there. Now, depending on how many allied enemies and heroes are hits, the energy amount in AoE will slowly increase. So again, let's go ahead and bring Vegeta. Let's have him attack. I mean, he's going to go ahead and transform here. But I do want to just show the difference between the zone amounts. So again, we can see here, oh, that the game just glitched right here. You can see right there, the zone amounts. Then now, we can see here, the zone when there's allies around as well. You see how it increases at a different rate. So that's kind of just what I'm trying to show there. You do want to use that mainly in team fights, because in team fights it'll just be really, really good. Now, we can also see that it has such a low cooldown in a really, really nice way, honestly. Like a 5-second cooldown, basically, when you consider the cooldown reduction, man. It's just really insane. And it does increase pretty decently per level. Again, we see this is how it is maxed out. When it's maxed out, it's pretty much like the same as it is when it's like hitting multiple enemies at level 1. But let's go ahead and bring Super Saiyan Vegeta over here one last time. And then let me just keep him from attacking. We see here, the zone is a really, really big amount. And applying all defense down is a very powerful ability. Because again, it also does apply to bosses. So let's say Jackie Chun, Nappa, you are debuffing that defense of the boss, and it just allows them to receive a lot more damage and allows you to just melt the boss essentially, which, I mean, ideally you just like kill the boss really quickly and you get it taken care of. I guess it depends obviously, but the defensive debuff is just really nasty for these boss fights that honestly shouldn't be as killed as fast as they are. But again, as the first skill also states, the more damage he receives within the zone, the shorter the duration. So let's go ahead and show this right here. So the zone lasts pretty much up until 1 second. Now, if we have Super Saiyan Vegeta just attacking us normally, we create the zone here. You see how it lasts less longer. At that point, it lasted less than 2, or lasted until 2 seconds left at the cooldown. So you want to be a bit careful with where your placement is for this. That's really it. Because again, it'll just be a smaller amount of time for the zone, and the zone gives a very powerful effect, because not only is it buffing your allies defensively, it's debuffing your enemies. Next is Goku Black skill 3, the Black Binds. You will envelop enemies in an energy wave at a set location, and you can forcibly move them. Very straightforward. So we see here the skill 3, we target Super Saiyan Vegeta, I move my cursor, we move him around. It's just a grab, right? Now, this grab right now I feel like is potentially a little bugged. I mean, it feels like sometimes enemies are able to just move out of it or vanish out of it. It's a bit weird. I don't know if that's intentional or not. I mean, it is supposed to be a forcibly, like, it is supposed to be a force of, like, it says forcibly move them, but you can just, like, get out of it. So, I mean, I guess, hey, you know, it is what it is. That is the case. Now, what makes this grab really insane is not only is he forcibly moving you, but if he has his zone up, he's immune to all while the grab is activated. Now, if you don't know what immune to all means, I think it's pretty straightforward, but You can't take damage, and you can't be debuffed. You can't be moved forcibly. It's really nasty. It is a disgustingly good ability, especially because this guy's zones will decrease in terms of the timer count the more damage he takes. But if he's immune to all, then it doesn't decrease because he doesn't take damage. So that's really good, right? Okay, let's go ahead and see this right here. We have this here, and then now it's maxed out. Another thing about how this works is if your enemy is within a zone, while you're grabbing them, the zone will explode and it staggers them, which does burst damage. So you're immune while it's grabbing enemies, and in the zone they're debuffed, and then it explodes and staggers them at the end. Totally fair and balanced. Now, the last thing I want to talk about this here is the fact that you actually are able to grab multiple enemies. So let's go ahead and bring Super Saiyan Vegeta over here to this Kachin. This Kachin does work as an enemy. Now, well, I guess this guy is just not appearing. Okay, let's go ahead and make this barrier here. See how I forcibly moved two of them? It didn't really look like super obvious right there. Let me try to get the grab back. I mean, I don't want to just like turn on the skill cooldowns. I'm kind of lazy. Low-key, guys, I'm kind of lazy. Like, okay, we see here Super Saiyan Vegeta's right here. I just grab both of them. Goodbye. Both moved. Now, the Kachin did move a little bit out of the range. I think that's why it kind of fell out, but yeah. So you're able to grab multiple enemies and keep them in there and stagger them if you hit the shot right, or if they're grouped together. So do keep that in mind. It's a pretty broken move. Now, in terms of his skills, the final thing to talk about is his ultimate. It is just the Black Power Ball. Very straightforward. You just throw the Black Power Ball down at a set location, and it will apply a very disgusting debuff to enemy heroes. You will you decrease their base HP and armor. This is a level 15 Super Saiyan Vegeta. Throw it down. Oh, he loses pretty much half of his health. That's not fantastic. It's a really disgusting good move. Let me turn on this sword and skill cooldowns. I mean, it does have a pretty decently long cooldown. It's so good. Level 2 right here, and then level 3 right here. Look how large this ultimate is at max out. In this entire zone range, your enemies have a debuff applied to them that lower their stats. So as long as they're within the range, that's really good. It also works in tandem with his grab. So we grab him, we keep the enemy in here, and at the end of the grab, he gets staggered the same way that the zones would, except it doesn't explode the zone. Oh, Erico 999. What is going on, bro? Except that it whatever. It doesn't explode the zone, so the effect of the zone still stays up at the set amount of time, unlike his skills. It's just a very disgusting, nasty thing to happen, man. It's such a good ultimate. Now, it does have a bit of a like long cast time. That's it. Like, you need to make sure that when you throw it, you hit it, or else you can very easily miss it on a moving target. So you do want to make sure that you're just not kind of throwing it out willy-nilly. Now, maybe what you can end up doing is, let's say, okay, I have my skill 1, skill 2, and skill 3. I don't know. Let's say you have skill 1 maxed out, for example, in a match. Okay, I'm going to throw my skill 1 on here, then ult within this range so that they can't vanish. Because skill 1 will apply high pressure, they can't vanish, they get movement speed down. You could secure that ultimate hit. You just got to play smart with Goku Black and make sure you're using these skills properly in tandem. I think they're all designed in a really wonderful way for you to go ahead and want to use them all together. No, like, it's just best for you to kind of just use them knowledgeably and at the correct timing, which I find really, really cool. Now, the last thing I want to talk about when it comes to his skills is the skill level order. I think it depends on if you're solo queuing or duo queuing, what you want to grab early game. But let's say, okay, we're level 3 early game. I'm heading into a fight for Kai. What do I want to grab? Let's imagine Super Saiyan Vegeta here is the Kai. Now, I feel like when you're in a stack, the safe thing to do, or I guess the best way to do, is to grab skill 2 and 3. Skill 2 has such a low cooldown within the zone. You grab your enemies, keep them within the zone explodes, bam, right? You know, or you could just wait, keep the zone out here, then grab the enemies closer to the end of the zone, right? You guys get the point. It's very good because it also does debuff them, and it gives your ally a buff as well defensively. So we place it down at the Kai or near the Kai, and it works really well. The issue is in solo queue, you might not know if your ally is going to want to push in with you properly, or know how to use the character they're using, unfortunately. So like, I feel like in solo queue, you want to grab skill 1, because then you can keep a very safe distance. You can still attack the Kai, you can still grab the enemy, move them away, stagger them at the very end, or even close by if you find, oh hey, my ally is attacking me, or hello, not attacking me, attacking with me. I can move them closer into the Kamehameha, bring them over to my side, and then they're staggered. And I'm also immune to all during that interaction, which is really nice. So, but dude, I keep getting error 999. What is going on? You guys get the point. That is how I would handle it early game. Now from here, again, I would just keep in mind, always max out your ult. Your ult, you want maxed out. It is such a game-breaking ability. You want to hit this on the entire boss arena or in a group fight, like really nicely. It gives so much value, and at the bare minimum, it has an effect of like Super Saiyan Vegeta's ult, where you push enemies off. Like the enemies either leave that area or they die. It's kind of how the ult works. So you could keep that in mind and set up some, like, I don't know, if you're pushing a tower, for example, right? That's where this skill or this ultimate could be really good. And again, you just want to make sure that this is maxed out, because then it becomes way easier to hit. Unlike level 1, I feel like it could be a little bit difficult to go ahead and land. Now, regardless, I think you want to max out either skill 2 or skill 1. You need a zone that lasts for a while. In my opinion, you want to go ahead and max out skill 2. Then you max out skill 3. Then you can focus on the Kamehameha. I feel like the Kamehameha is good. Obviously, like, especially when it's maxed out, like, you have a really wide range, but skill 2 just has a way shorter cooldown, and you're able to spam it more often. So in general, you're just going to be getting more damage for it. It just is, that's just how it works. Like, you're just going to be getting more damage overall by maxing out skill 2 throughout battle, more stuns overall by maxing out skill 2 through a battle. Like, it just is a net gain for you. That's what you want. I meant to level up the enemy here, not the ally, but you could even just, okay, let me go ahead and skill 2. I'm going to skill 1 here. We'll grab this guy over here. We explode that zone. I'm still getting my cooldowns back. Bam. Now I'm doing this right here. And at this point, okay, I have my skills again. I could do this and we could just explode both zones. Like, you see how quick you get the zones back by kind of managing them properly? And that's where I feel like skill 1, you use after you dash in, and then you just continue to use it to restore your skill cooldowns, right? And I believe it does stack. So again, we can see the skill cooldown right here, this right here. I'm in both zones. Like, it just works out for you really, really nicely. Actually, it does not stack the cooldown reduction, but that's pretty much it. Like, that's how I would personally level them. Now, if you are a big fan of Black Kamehameha, maybe you can go skill level 2. Like, that could be okay. But I really highly do just like recommend maxing out skill 2, man. It's just such a low cooldown in comparison to skill 1. And honestly, it works better in terms of like team fights and landing your stun with the black binds, because it's just an AoE circle around you rather than just like, you know, a straight line here, even though this effect is also really, really good. But you have to choose a skill to kind of not invest into, and I think that's just going to end up being the Kamehameha. All right, so I want to talk about divine combo cards for Goku Black. I think for me, it is generally straightforward. For his first card, there are, in my opinion, 2 real options for him. That's build up, and that is strategic escape. Now, I usually prefer to go build up with this guy. The thing about build up is he has access to Corn. So you place Corn in a smart move, or a smart place on the map, which is usually at the bottom of the boss arena top lane, or if you know your allies are going to get the back highs, you can place it near the back so that you can get XP there as well. Either way, you just get a ton of build-up stacks really quickly if you just spam that helper, and it just makes him tankier, which allows him to keep his zones up more, allows him to not get melted as much. He gets all defense up in his kit, so it just works with it really nicely. I do like build-up in this guy, I think, but you can go strategic escape. I've found it very hard to hit Goku Blacks that have both strategic escape and then art of decoy, which we'll talk about in a bit. He just zips around the map so quickly, and there's so much CC going on now that this plus art of decoy, it is helpful if you find yourself just getting melted a lot and maybe you just would prefer to kind of dash in and out and apply debuffs, whatnot. It just depends. I think you'll have more success with build up though, so that's the card I personally would pick first. Now the second card I think is the most diverse card. You kind of pick it depending on the situation. Most situations I would go Art of Decoy. I think Art of Decoy, again, you get obstructed by an enemy hero. Even Goku Black could activate this. You'll get an extra vanish and a big boost to movement speed. This is really good, like for Goku Black especially, because okay, I get hit, I could at least just like move away from the enemy, especially if it's like in my skill 1 zone. You already have like a speed boost as well. This guy becomes very fast, right? So I really do like this card on him. Now if you're facing like a Piccolo or a Kefla or someone with high burst damage and you're having troubles tanking, you can also opt for Solid Barrier, especially like in the mid-game section. I think Solid Barrier could be nice. Or if you're at the end of the game and you're trying to get tower chips, like participate in team fights, maybe opting for Solid Barrier could be useful. Now, if you just want to go on a Zero Mortar plan spree, you can also go Giant Slayer. But like, that's kind of really all I would say. I guess Prepare to Die might not be the worst option either. Like, it just depends. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the thing about Prepare to Die is, again, it's when an attack hits an enemy hero with less than 50% or less HP. It's possible to activate that, like, with his grab. You know, like, again, you grab the enemy, they're receiving damage, and then they take the explosion, and then if they last for at least 2 more seconds, like, that's nice, but I think getting them low with Giant Slayer probably is gonna be helpful for him. It also depends on, like, you know, if you're like what characters you're facing as well, right? So it just, like, if you're facing enemies with a lot of HP, or if they're not like having a crazy amount of HP, Prepare to Die could be better. It depends, again, at the end of the day. Now finally, I go defense step. You can go double vanish for your third card. I think that's fine too. But I do like the idea of Goku Black having 2 defense cards, because again, when you have 2 defensive cards, you get a moderate defense boost. It's nothing crazy, but it does allow him to be a bit tankier. Defense step is just an on-command 75% damage reduction. It is very good. Now it is once every 12 seconds, but I think it is still very, very useful. I wouldn't really use any other card on him besides Limit Breaking Jump, but again, that really does depend. Like, maybe if you're facing a Deborah, you can get Limit Breaking Jump. Like, that could be a good idea. That's really it, though. Yeah, his Divine Combo cards are very straightforward. He's a supportive character. I think this is the best build for him personally. Build up, Art of Decoy, and defense step, but I did want to give any alternative options in case you just want to have fun. I mean, you could even go Snowball, Barrier, defense step if you also want to have fun, but I feel like if you want to do damage, grabbing one of these 2 cards will be more consistent for this guy. That's just my opinion, though. Now, when it comes to best helpers for this guy, I would pretty much go Corrin. Again, if you're running build up, Corrin is going to be your best friend. This guy is going to give you a ton of build up stacks. Movement speed is really nice. That's kind of it. Yeah, that's really it, honestly. This is like nothing crazy. You could also get the Quick Zone. I think that the Quick Zone is nice. It allows this guy just to be very quick, right? Duh. So depending on the situation, you could have this as well. It's not a bad idea. But for the most part, I do like Corn. Just very easy build up stacks. You know, it also just gives movement speed up to allies. It's just a nice ability to have. I think it's just by far the best supporter for technical, in my opinion. All right, y'all. So at the end here, I'm just going to throw in a few clips of just little plays that I made that I liked. But overall, I think this guy is really nasty. Once you get the hang of him, he's just going to be looking so good. But let me know what you guys think. I appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah, I messed up on the like last farm.
This guy's always messing up farm, bro. Be careful, because
bad.
Goku Black kid. Okay. It's there. We'll grab this guy. Bring him over here. Stagger him. See, again, make another zone, and now he's dead. You see how easy it is?
I'm coming.
Hey, that's my tower right there. Get over here. Goodbye, Cell. You're dead.
Crayons.
Yep, you're dead.
What the fuck? Why would he use skill 1 like that?
I don't know.
Nice.
Got it.
Ooh, hold on now.
There we go.
Good shit, Mike. Good shit.
Thank you.
It's low.
I'm just
Good
gonna
block
leave
on
him.
the
Oh wait,
Super Saiyan 3, by the way.
Okay, wait, let's see. Let's be careful because you can just kill us with
I'm
one
just gonna
hand.
leave.
Get out.
Yeah, I'm getting out.
Yeah.
I can. I
Sounds
have
like his
ult now, by
Goku
the
Black
way.
would probably be back by that time. I didn't have my
You can
grab.
get 5 if you give me the last hits here.
Yeah.
Matra Lightning Swift.
Oh my god!
Everything goes wrong. Everything has to go wrong. That's the rule of my videos.
Ooh, see, this is why I like it. You
Got
can
it.
just hold him in place. Got it. You can just hold him into my skill 3. It's like,
Yep.
what the
I'm dead.
hell?
Damn.
All right. I missed the grab again. It's a little tough to hit the
When
grab.
you get
at
back,
higher
just take the back.
levels.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Peace. Sweet. I have to place Corn down. Dude, the grab like barely misses every single time. That sucks. Get out this. There we go.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm like 1 minion off 7.
Okay.
I'm also 1 minion off
It's not
7.
bot.
Really sucks.
I'm also a minion off 7.
That's funny.
Oh,
Trunks here. Someone else here.
Careful with 3Q coming.
hold now.
Damn. I ulted just a second too late. My bad.
Trunks. No, he's gonna escape.
Trying to escape
I'm
like
1
15
HP,
billion
so-
times.
Oh, it's Jacko.
1 on it. Trunks on it. Trunks provoked.
Hold now.
3Q provoked. 2 provoked. Nice. 3Q
I
dead.
think I ulted way too early, but you know, it works.
He slowed down.
There we
Pick
go.
up.
Got him. Ult is back up, by the way. In 10.
Okay.
It's a little too
You can go
far
for
for a
it, Mike.
fight. I don't know. I feel like it's still just close to mid. What do you think?
I'm gonna shoot this and I'm gonna go back because I need to. I don't see Goku.
4G's
Okay,
dead.
Goku
4G's
back's there,
dead.
it's in.
4G's.
Nice, good ult.
There we go.
Huge ult, actually, Mina.
Goku. Beers can't move. Nice. Let's go.
Now we just push. Huge ult.
Awesome.
Good job, Mike, with the pushing.
It's winnable. It's
Well played,
winnable.
guys.
It's actually winnable. Actually winnable, guys. I told you. Nice.
Guys,
there
watch
you
out,
go.
Thanos coming.
Why'd you grab the Dragon Ball
Yeah,
over
I'll be
me?
taking
You
that.
fat chud. You're a fat chud. You're actually.
Yeah, I was like leaving it. This
Dude, you
dude's
can
not
still hear the
media
drum.
trained. Like in Lobo, you know, like right away you leave that dude the ball.
Yup.
It's not media trained.
Oh.
This guy is not media trained. Look,
don't
MVP,
give
it's
a
fine.
fuck.
We got the MVP, bro.
Yeah.
That's what matters. Honestly, yeah.
Take your MVP, take your like and upload the video already.
Okay, we'll see.